Last fall, around October, November, I was starting to get a little concerned about my weight, so I started going to the gym. And the fellow that was there was working out with me, and then in late December, he was working with me. It was on a Wednesday, and I got a little short of breath. And he says, you might want to get that checked out sometime. So I decided I would do that. My wife and I would go for walks. I'd go maybe half a block, 2 blocks, and I'd get short of breath. I thought, this is not right. So it was Monday, January 27th. I went to work, and I went in. I was a little tired, and one of my office mates, he looked at me, and he says, you feel okay? I said, well, I'm a little tired. He said, well, gray's not a very good color on you. So I went to the emergency room at the hospital, and I took a look around. About 30, 35 people, and I said, well, I'm going to be here a couple hours. Nurse took one look at me and says, room 1, now. I thought, oh, that kind of concerned me a little bit. So that was on a Monday. Then by Thursday, I was having open chest surgery. After I got out of the hospital, I knew that I had to go for continuing care, and I wasn't sure which direction to take. So I contacted my doctor, and they recommended I go through cardio rehab. So I contacted Sharp, and they got me into the cardio rehab program. And I wasn't quite sure what it was all about. I knew that I had to do something, but I didn't know what it was about. I wanted to increase my breathing, and I wanted to be able to increase my physical abilities because I had lost a lot of physical movement and so forth. So when I went to cardio rehab, I wasn't sure exactly what they were going to show me or what was going to happen. I was anxious because I wanted to get back into a normal routine, and I wasn't sure how that was going to affect anything. I knew that I was not anxious, I was not depressed, but I was happy to be doing something in order to get back into physical mode. You can only watch so many hours of television. At the last day of cardio rehab, I was actually a little disappointed. I wanted to continue with it. Plus, I had met some wonderful people there, and we had interacted with each other, and the staff was excellent. So I really did not want to leave cardio rehab. I wanted to keep going. But they told me that there were other options afterward of going into other programs to continue on. What I really enjoyed about cardio rehab was the interaction of the people that were there, and also the staff. They were very caring. They really had my best interest at heart. They took the time to explain what was going on, the purpose of each one of the machines. The biggest milestone that I made was after I had gotten out of surgery, the staff had told me that by the end of the week they'd like me to walk into the block or half a mile. Because I was able to breathe better, the end of that first week I was actually walking 3/4 of a mile. By the end of the second week I was actually walking a mile. Prior to the event, I would take 25 minutes to walk a mile. Now, today, I can do a mile in 16 minutes. As regarding to weight, when I started the program, I did not feel that I was obese, but I knew that I was a little heavy. That's the reason I started to go in the gym in late November, December. I probably weighed 189, 190 pounds. Today, I'm proud to say this morning, I weigh 160 pounds. And I owe it all to the regimen and the routine of getting into the habit of physical activity and walking on a daily basis. I enjoy walking 2 to 3 miles every day. When it comes to diet, that was the most difficult part. I absolutely did not like the dietary change. The biggest problem with the dietary change was the mental conditioning, the mental part of saying, gee, I can't have a hamburger. Well, I could in moderation, but to change the dietary from the carbs, the sugars, the ice cream, the candy, the cookies, I didn't eat a lot of that stuff, but I really enjoyed eating candy or cookies. And I enjoyed breads, pastas. Since then, now my diet, after coming through the program here, learning about the right dietary programs, I'm now on a heart healthy diet. I really enjoy a green salad for lunch with chicken. Some of the things that I can do today that I wasn't able to do before, or that I did not do before, I did not exercise on a consistent basis. I mean, I would probably walk 2 or 3 times a week, maybe a mile, mile and a half, and I'd call that exercise. And I know now that it was not really exercise. So what I'm doing today that's different, that I thoroughly enjoy, is I go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. I get up in the morning and I go to the gym. I do 30 minutes of cardio on the exercise machines. Then I'll do 30 minutes of the weights and other machines. And because of that, I'm now, my wife mentioned the other day, she says, boy, you couldn't lift that 3 months ago or 6 months ago. So I'm able to pick up things and move things that I wasn't able to do before. Probably one of the biggest things that I've noticed recently is my cognitive abilities. I seem to be more mentally focused. And before I was hesitant and had to stop and think about talking or reacting, and my acuity seems to be a lot better now. The routine when I started coming to cardio rehab was quite simple. They would hook you up to a machine. I don't know the technical name for it, but it was kind of like a heart monitor. They would put these little patches on you. I hated those patches because they would pull the hair off my chest. We do some stretching, put our hands over our head. We do some, just get the body loose. Then you would take your choice of 4 different machines. Toward the very end, we did some light weight training to where you would have barbells and you would do a series of barbell training. You would also do some squats and other exercises. The one thing that amazes me is that people who have gone through what I've gone through and they don't do the follow-up, that just dumbfounds me. I mean, you have to take care of your body if you want to be around. And I strongly recommend that if anyone has gone through any type of cardio surgery, that they follow up with their doctor. And if they recommend cardio rehab, you absolutely do it, because it will definitely change your life and give you those longevity periods. It hit me about 4 months ago that I almost died. I wouldn't be here. And by being able to follow through with the exercise and the program, the regime that I'm in now, I feel a different person. I have the privilege of being a young 67 in November, but I feel like I'm probably 45 or 50. So I highly recommend cardio rehab. The most important thing, the best thing that came out of cardio rehab is, like my attorney friends tell me, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So I'm alive and I'm happy. Thank you so much.